where they claim that all your devices, everything you own, basically will be interconnected. So if you run out of milk in the fridge will send a message to the supermarket, and the supermarket will automatically deliver your milk to your place at home. That is
scary.
Yeah, in a way, that's a different aspect of it, but that's one utopia, one thing of this what the internet will lead to. The other thing is that we're speaking about semantics. The concept of semantics is that basically at the moment you have all the information at the internet stored at different kind of places, and you can link them. But you have to build those links in order to connect information A and information B. The future of the internet will automatically link those kind of information, because the internet is smart enough to recognize information A and information B and match them together if they belong together. So that is on a technological point of view what the internet will go to. On a social point of view, it's a matter of how the internet will actually ask our society to become more transparent and to become more sustainable in a way. Because the transparency increases the need for sustainability in that regard, as people suddenly know what's going on in the world. And as soon as you start knowing what's going on in the world, you can either decide to ignore it and just live your little life somewhere, or you go outside and you do something and you change something. So the internet is in that regard a chance for actually to participate, and I would highly recommend to elaborate in this regard in the next couple of minutes.
You know, just to add to that, thinking about this, when I went to grade school when I was very young, I was raised in America, so we had a standardized education system, and I learned about American history. I generally learned about general American history, but I never learned about the history of my little place in Los Angeles. I had to grow up to learn about my own little city. And I wonder, when you talk about this idea that the internet is allowing people to learn more about the world they live in and get information, that perhaps they pay more attention to that and don't pay attention to the local issues. And since I think that this organization, the children that you're working with are coming from local places, right? They're not, in a sense, it's not a global thing. This is, in a sense, how do you maintain this sort of local accountability, you know, as we're being engaged by these global things that are happening. They're quite interesting, but maybe the local becomes forgotten.
I just had one idea, and I'm not sure if it's if it fits, but when we were talking about this more intelligent web, it's a little bit well. It seems that if we are talking about robots, for example, and that to make them more intelligent and more like they will do stuff for us, we don't know how they will develop, and then we don't know what's going to happen. But this is, I mean, this is somehow you could almost say it's going to, in the internet it's going to get more and more intelligent, but you don't know what's going to happen with an intelligence you cannot control.
Terminator.
If you want to be like, yeah. Well, it's just that's what
yeah,
I was thinking right now.
They're totally right. I have a huge problem that when I'm talking about the internet, I'm pretty enthusiastic about it because I like it a lot. On the other hand side, it's a problem indeed you're describing, that if you don't make the effort to reflect on the internet and how society actually should use it for your personal, but as well as large in the social discourse, some other people will decide for you. And so it's basically your obligation, not only your opportunity to act, but as well your social obligation to co-create this process and to participate in this process. And there's the question, how do you participate back? The best way in the web is by using the web and understanding.
The one thing it seems to be the web is good for, and it's also negative, is that when Facebook changes, and I think some of you have experienced some of the Facebook changes that have been bothersome to you, they do offer feedback, and then people feedback and they change it, and it does seem to be responsive, but that usually leads to more change. So the one thing is that you always got to, it's never like, learning about the web is never learning it in a traditional sense and you know it. It's you're always having to investigate it. Facebook is now. In 5 years, I couldn't tell, 5 years ago no one would predict Facebook would be like this. I got my account when I was in the university, and it was only for university at the time, but no one would have thought this. But we can't even think about what the next thing will be. I'm not sure. Perhaps, some people argue, the personal Facebook, meaning that the technologies will be so easily adaptable that we don't need to go to a Facebook, right? A pre-made thing, but we can create our own profile that's connected to other profiles that sort of circumvents the monopoly, which Facebook now arguably has the monopoly on this social media space. That might be the proactive future of people then not engaging in the commercial expression of the internet, saying I'm not going to allow Facebook to concentrate my data, my information. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to get it. Maybe I'll sell it. But maybe the technology, if it allows for the facility, maybe I can make my own page and connect it to other people without having this intermediary we call Facebook or MySpace. Possibly I see that as a potential future. And people did talk about that as well in the conference in Berlin that you went to, but you were drinking a little more beer. I didn't see the pictures, but there is a sense. There was this sense of like the future of right now. It's the privacy issues that none of us really are aware of. That when you go on the internet or you go to Facebook or you do a Google search, that a lot of data about you, it seems anonymous, is being archived and being sold to businesses to learn how to sell to you. There's nothing. I may say it ominously, and of course I just had this presentation which assumes I would be against that. I'm not necessarily against that because in a way, one thing is that free things have allowed us to do things. TV being free, you saw TV, but then you had to be exposed to commercials, right? So this is sort of something I'm used to, but in a way, it's what we don't know that is being accumulated to us. And if we have the opportunity, and these technologies are so, in a sense, have the ability for us to aggregate our own information and know what we're doing with it. Part of it is educating ourselves, but also part of it is having the technologies that allow us to do that. That's something that was something discussed in Berlin, and that was a serious thing. In order to get the bottleneck away from it was not just the Facebooks, but it was also the ISP, the providers, the local providers, who also accumulate information. If you pay a subscription to cable, internet, or the local person is aggregating everything that you're doing. Face, in a way, could be faceless, but it says they're making money from that.
I'm not sure about everything.
Huh? Not personal.
Like machines.
Yeah. Machine is doing it in a sense. You're paying. Here's the thing. You're paying for the subscription, whatever it costs, and they're also getting money from your information as well. So in another future, it's possible that maybe these technologies can account better, and maybe either you don't pay for your subscription, or you pay for your subscription, but you don't have to. Your information is yours. You can say, I don't want my information to be stored. I want to store my information, and then I may want to sell my information, and I can go find a market for it. That's another the thing that we're talking in Germany. It seems to me way too techy for me, but it might be something that future generations, maybe yourselves, or maybe your younger siblings, or maybe your children, maybe that will be a future where people have much more control over their cyber profiles or cyber experiences on the web.
But you can just make sure that this is going to be the future if you invest up on this future, because you have either two ways to go. One way is to say, you stick with the large service providers such as Facebook, and Facebook is not actually good. They're not nice people, but at the moment they have a monopoly, and it's the only company that's offering this kind of service. On the other hand side, it's about raising awareness and developing a personal perspective on the web and how to use the best ways to make progress.